Good morning. I have been asked to do some more bread videos, and I thought I would try pizza dough today. There's nothing better than a nice warm pizza on a cold, rainy night in Pittsburgh. So here we go. I'll post the recipe, but it's 1 package of yeast in the bowl and 1 cup of warm water. It's not hot water, it's just warm water out of the tap. And you just let that soak a bit. I'm going to stir it a little. I, for some reason, use a rubber. I don't know why. So we'll let that soak a bit, and I'm going to add to this my olive oil, which is 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. So here's a tablespoon. So 1.5 of those. So that's the dry ingredient, or the wet ingredients. And you might want to let this stand. Excuse me, I have hair everywhere. You might want to let this stand for a while, but we're going to do some kneading to this so it'll get mixed in. The next thing you want to do is mix your flour and salt together. I'm just going to put it right in on top of the wet. So it's 1, 2 1/3 to 3 cups. So it just kind of depends on the weather and the moisture in your house. I'm going to put 2 in, maybe a little more. And then if I need more, I'll add more. And 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now you could do this in a food processor, which is what I used to do, but honestly, then you got to clean the food processor. Who wants to do that? So this is coming together. I'm just stirring, and if it's a little bit too wet at the end, we'll just add some more flour. It does look like it's going to need some more flour because this dough is a lot stiffer than the no-knead bread. The nice thing about this pizza dough is this is going to make 2 pizzas, and you can freeze pizza dough very nicely. So I'm going to move my gear out of the way here. Hope my sleeves are going to stay up. I'm going to add some flour to my countertop. And I'm going to pull this out because this time we're going to need this dough. And because it's a little wet, we're probably going to add a good deal of flour to it as we go. So that's the time when you can make these adjustments. So I just kind of fold it over and push, fold it over and push. And you can do it with 1 hand or 2. All you're really doing is making a nice smooth ball of dough. And if you need more flour, just put a little bit more flour down on your dough, on your board. So there we are. Now you can do this for 10 or 15 minutes if you want. I don't normally. I do it until I get a nice smooth ball that feels like it's not going to stick to my hand. I probably added another 1/4 of a cup of flour to the board, so this dough needed a little bit more water. See, who needs a gym? You can get a workout making your pizza. A little bit more, it's still sticky. Because we used a whole package of yeast, it's going to rise. The trick is to get a nice smooth ball of dough when you're done doing this kneading. And that's what the food processor does for you. Does all this kneading. But I also don't have to clean the food processor now. Alrighty, I think that's going to be good for me. I'm going to put this in a different bowl because that bowl is dirty. Normally you just clean it out. So here's my new bowl. I'm going to squirt it with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put my dough in there, face side down. I'm going to flip it over so that it's sort of covered with oil. And then I'm going to put my trusty cover on. And I'm going to let it sit for 2 hours, or until I feel like baking it. And that is pizza dough.